Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Corinne and this is CoryCreates. This is a channel primarily about cross stitch, but I occasionally throw in some other crafts that I'm working on, mainly sewing. I am a quilter and a bag maker and a garment maker. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is Sunday, October 5th, 2025, and you are watching Flosstube number 44. Welcome. I had a flash right before I sat down, so luckily I keep one of these in all corners of the apartment and in every car and my classroom. So hopefully I won't need to use it much longer. So glad to have you back with me. Welcome to my new subscribers, and if this is your first time watching me, welcome. I'm glad you are choosing to spend a little time with me. I have quite a bit to share with you today, and as always, welcome back to my returning friends. I so appreciate you coming, as you are always welcome here, and I just appreciate your following me through the years. You can also find me on Instagram at CoryCreates08, and you can find my Etsy shop where I sell project bags at Layla P Creations. Is the name of my Etsy shop. So what do I have for you today? I have one new start. I have sampler September update, and I have my projects that I have, or I should say future projects that I have kitted up that I'm going to share with you today. I just counted them before I started this video, and I have about 20. Come on now. I did not know. I was going through all my stuff, pulling them, and I'm like, okay, I got quite a bit. I had a windfall of DMC over the last couple of years from thrift stores, and we're not talking, pieces. We're talking brand new skeins of DMC. So I have been able to kit up some things that call for DMC. So that's what I have done. And also today I have a special guest that's going to join me in a little bit to talk about a project that he has asked me to do for him, and he's going to tell you about it. So let me go ahead. Well, it's still warm here, you all. It's about 80 something, 85 I think, and I think the 80s are going to hold for at least a couple more days, and then it'll start to cool off, and then I think it's going to go back up. So I'm not mad. I have plants out on the deck, and I always take the time to debug my plants before I bring them in, and I'm not ready to do that. Plus I have a number of things going on, so I don't want to fool with those plants right now. So the longer it stays warm, and I usually try to bring them in right before the first frost. I have an overhang over our deck, so they really don't get any frost or anything on them until the temperature dips so far. So I think I got another week or two before I have to bring them all in. I have my bog bag full of whips, and I am going to share real quick my September card. I started this earlier this year, just putting my goals on a index card, and that is working for me pretty well. I highlight the things that I definitely completed, but on this it's really not true to form, because everything on here though, I have worked on it. I just did not highlight these two because I did not make my percentage goal, but I got very close on one of them. But I did touch every single thing that is at the top up here for my whips, so I'm kind of excited about that. Sampler September, I've participated in the past, but just not as fully as I did this year. Everything that I worked on as a whip was a sampler that I had already started. So I'm glad I got quite a bit of work done on all of those things. No finishes, but I really wasn't anticipating having any, except for maybe the first whip that I'm going to show you. But before I get to that, I'm going to start with my new start. My stitch group decided earlier, or actually at the end of August, that we were going to do a Carolyn Manning design. And I already had my eye on watermelon tourmaline. And I had seen it on Stacy, the 911 stitcher. She had showed hers, and it's beautiful. It's pinks, variety of shades of pinks. Plus, now that I have pulled the DMC for it, I'm amazed at the different colors that are in this chart. Because by looking at it, pinks and greens, and y'all know I love those, but it has like some purples in it, just things I did not anticipate. So my new start was watermelon tourmaline, and this picture does not do it justice. I don't know if it was my printer or what, but it looks nothing like this. And I have decided to do this on a 32 count bubble gum by Atomic Ranch. And this, actually, I picked this up last month at the Needlework Galleria. Atomic Ranch was there. So I did pick this up then, and we started it on last Sunday when we got together on Zoom for our stitch group, and I got a little bit of progress. So this chart has, oh dear, I didn't write it down. I'll put down below how many stitches it has in it total. I know it's at least 35,000, which is a lot, and this is full coverage. But I completed 601 stitches on that day, and I have not had a chance to pick it up since. But my goal moving forward on this is, at least for the month of October, I'm going to try to do 1,000 stitches. Now, I don't know what November and December are going to bring, because I'm ready to start Christmas. But I really like this chart. The items on it are pretty repetitive, so it's not like I have to think about it a lot. Just need good light, because this is a 32 count. I am doing 2/2, and it is being done with DMC. Let me see. And actually, I need a project bag for this one, you all. I don't really have one, but I put all my skeins in here because they are not bobbinated. But here are my skeins. I have a couple that are bobbinated that I pulled out of my already bobbinated, but all of these, here are those colors. So I just went with the DMC. And like I said, it's full coverage, and I love full coverage, so I'm excited about doing this one. And hopefully can just make progress on it every month. So again, that is Watermelon Tourmaline by Carolyn Manning Designs. And she always has a sale, you all. I think I went for this one, and I ended up getting like four or five total. So she always has a pretty good sale. So, and I'm going to put these back so I'm not looking for them later. But yes, I got 601 stitches done. All right, these next two are my smaller designs. The first one, I was hoping I would be able to finish it, but I did not. And actually, I'm okay with that. It is Summer Quaker by Primrose Cottage Stitches. This is being done on a 28 count white even weave that I just got out of my stash. And I am using, for this, I'm using a skein. Actually, this is my second skein of, let me pull out the color so you can see, Orange Soda by Color and Cotton. And this is my second skein because I did run out. I'll put a picture in of where I was, and here is where I am now. I did not get as far as I wanted to. Trent didn't have very many tournaments, and this is where that's where I usually work on this. So I have spent primarily my time here. I think I did this one as well, and I think I finished that one. And I know I finished the border there, but this is where I spent most of my time. As you can see, I did not quite get it finished. But guess what, y'all? I think this one's going away. I don't know. I don't want to work on it anymore. I'm ready to do Christmas. And this is too summery right now. So I am going to put a pin in this one. but I'm pretty much 3/4 done. I think I just have these motifs here, these two right here, and then I think there's one down here, and then the date, and I am going to change that. I think I'm going to try and get this done still by the end of the year. Maybe just do a couple of threads a night in a week where I don't know what I want to work on. That way I can knock it out and still be able to put 2025 on it. So that's the plan for that one. Just right now, I'm ready to start some different stuff and continue with some different stuff. So that's where I am with that one. And then on the other side of my board, I have my next project. Let me find my sheet for it. Oh, here it is. And that is Floral Alphabet by JBW Designs. I just love this floral sampler. I am using a skein of DMC. It is the Colorise, and it is 4,500. But it's a variegated pink and green. So I'll put a picture of where I was, and here's where I am now. My light's playing with me today. I do not remember where I was, but I think I'm on this edge here. This is where I've been working. So according to this, I've got a couple more letters in order to go all the way across, and then I'll, like a typewriter, come back this way and work my way across again. But it's fun to work on. I do not take a lot of time to consider where the pink and the green is falling, because some of these motifs in between are plants, you know, like leaves and flowers and things. I'm just going for it, and I think that's why I haven't lost interest in it, because I'm not worried about where the pink and green is falling. I'm just trying to get it done. So I would say I am maybe, I'd say I'm probably at least 1/4 of the way through with this. But it's pretty, and I like the way that it's turning out. So I'm like the previous one, I'm just gonna make sure every week I put a couple threads in on it and just keep it moving forward. So that is Floral Alphabet by JBW Designs. All right, up next are the 3 projects that took up the majority of my time. The first one is by Shaded Stitchery, and it is this Juneteenth day. I am just moving along on this. I don't know for sure if I'm gonna finish it by the end of the year, but I think my goal to finish is by February, Black History Month. And this is a wonderful project that I just love working on, and I am making significant progress. I will put a picture in of where I was, and then here is where I am now. It's really getting big, you all. But I'm back down here at the bottom. I've gotten back to some color, and I think the last time you all saw it, I had just started this row, or I was in the middle of this row rather. So I finished that, and now I'm sweeping back around onto this row. This is a number 2. I just have the number 1 and then a matching motif like that right there. Now on the sample, on the cover, it has Nuri's initials there. I'm gonna put my initials there, and down here it said 24, I believe. No, 22, because that's when she designed this. And I'm gonna put a 25 there. So I haven't decided if I'm gonna push for the 25 finish or just wait till 26 and then put a 26. So I haven't decided. I guess I could just wait till 26. Okay, I just wanted to be accurate. And then I've just got the flag here in the middle and a row of a really thin border type motif, and then that's it. So the row with the flag, and then those 2 thin rows, and that's it. But that's a lot of stitching in there. So let me give you the stats for this. This is, I did 1,003 stitches And since the last time you saw this, I am sitting at 67.8%. That doesn't sound right, but I guess it is. 67.8%, and I've done 8,594 stitches out of 12,676 stitches. So yes, as you can see, once I finish this row, the rest of it I'm still gonna have at least 3,000 stitches left. So those last few rows are stitch heavy, but I'm enjoying every minute of this one. I'm probably gonna put it down for a little while because, like I said, I'm ready to get to my holiday stuff, but I will definitely pick it up from time to time and just keep moving forward on it. I think I definitely want to finish this row, and then I'll sit it to the side for an extended period of time. But it is, oh, this is a 32 count Dusty Cottage by Stitchery. And I'm so excited. I'm probably gonna have a little bit of that left so I can hopefully find something to put on it. But again, I'm just letting y'all bask in her glory for a minute. So that is this Juneteenth day by Shaded Stitchery. I know quite a few people are working on it, and they're all making good progress on it as well. The next one is my stitch along with the Sunshine Stitchers, and it is Modern Folk Embroidery. Put a bird on it. This was a stitch along that started last December 15th. I didn't actually start it till January, but 13th month stitch along. And if you go to the Sunshine Stitchers Facebook page, you will see a variety of different fabrics and threads that have been used on this project. And a lot of people are in the home stretch finishing up. I am as well. So I'm looking forward to finishing this up before the end of the year. I will put in a picture of where I was, and I did do my own color conversion on this. And this is where I am. I didn't do a whole lot on this, but I just wanted to get to the 80% area. I wanted to get around 80%. So since the last time you saw this in August, I have done 685 stitches, and that brings me to 11,002 stitches done out of 13,557, and I'm at 81.15%. So I should have absolutely no problem finishing this by the end of the year. I did finish my 2025 right here. I know I added all of this. I think I added the letters here, and then I had a few stitches left on this part, but most of my work was here. So I'm excited. I've got 1, 2, 3 big motifs, and then some small motifs and a few letters left. And I have to put my initials over here somewhere. So she's coming along. I'm enjoying doing them immensely, and I'm shooting for a Thanksgiving finish. So this one's probably going to get a lot of attention this month because I just want to make sure I get to at least 90%. That way in the month of November, I'm on the downhill slope with it. So that is Put a Bird on It by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I am looking forward to starting another Modern Folk Embroidery soon. I have Baldaquin birdies, I think. So I want to do that one, and I think I already have a thread picked out for it. I just need to get a piece of fabric big enough. The last sampler that I worked on, let me grab it and put it on this board so you all can see it. But the last sampler I worked on was the Phoenix Sampler by Twin Peak Primitives. And what has enabled me to make progress on these last 3 also is the fact that I have them in Pattern Keeper. It's just so much easier for me to keep track of where I am. But I'm on the house, and I'm also kind of bouncing back and forth finishing up this phoenix. But once I came over here to the house, I got excited. So this is where I was the last time that you saw this, and then here's where I am now. So I have done 1,106 stitches since the last time I showed this, which I think was in July, June or July. And then my total is 8,194 stitches out of 24,009 stitches. And this is being done on a 32 count, 25 count Shadow Lugana. And I forgot to mention on the Put a Bird on It, that's a 32 count solo die from CoryCreates, Lugana. But this one is coming off well, 1/1. I did a conversion on the over dies. If I had it, I did it. I used it, but if I didn't, I converted it to CoryCreates. But she's coming along. I think I want to bring the border all the way down just so I can see how far down I still need to go, because this house is pretty big. So I'm just up here at the top. So can you believe, you all, since the last time you saw this, this is mainly what I've done right here. This part right here, that's 1,000 stitches right there. That's crazy. But 25 count is like that. So good progress on it. I'm working on this with gem stitches. If you're not watching her channel, you should. I watched her recent video and I did not see it in that, so I don't think she worked on it for Sampler September, but she's a sampler person. So she has a lot of samplers that she has to choose from. I don't. Okay, I just have a handful, and that is good enough for me. I tend to choose the ones that speak to me or are a little more modern, speak to me culturally, or they're a little more modern. So those are my whips. I'm going to get ready and show you my kitted up projects. All right, you all, I said I was going to go through my kitted up projects, but I got a special guest with me today, and he's going to talk about the project that I have kitted up for him to do. Or I'm sorry, for me to do for him. And I have decided I'm going to start on it on his birthday. His birthday is November 17th. So I have decided that is going to be my birthday start for him. So he's going to tell you a little bit about the project that he chose and why he chose it. And he's going to share the colors that he picked to do it with. Take it away. What's your name?
Trenton. I chose Menagerie, A Garden of Whimsical Beasties by Kathleen Taylor.
And this was from Etsy, and if I remember, I will put the name of the shop that I got it from on the bottom. So you want to show him what you picked to do it with. He'll show you the fabric first.
I picked Through the Stones 32 count Lugana by Be Stitch Me.
There you go. So it's like a mottled green, and I really like it, and I was not surprised when he picked this one. So we haven't decided what portion of it, but it's a pretty even modeling on there. And then here are the threads. Go ahead and tell them about your threads.
I chose this reddish color, this golden yellow, and turquoise.
Tell them the numbers.
For the turquoise, it's 3847. For the red, it's 3777. And for the gold, 68.
Okay, so these are what he chose to go with it. And all I did was he chose the threads first. And I was excited because this is one of my favorite colors, 3777. But he chose the colors first while we were in Michael's one day. And then I came home and got out all my fabrics and I let him go through them, and I told him, you know, do a thread toss, and this is the one he came up with, and I thought that was an excellent choice. So why'd you pick that pattern?
I just really like animals, and she had never like made a cross stitch for anything for me before, so I never really asked for one, so I was just like, when she offered, I said yes. And the reason I chose those colors was because I noticed the octopus on here first, and I noticed like the red would match with the octopus, and the peacock would match with the turquoise, and the deer would match with the golden brown. So I chose those colors for that reason.
Very good. So I was looking at this pattern on Etsy, and he was looking over my shoulder, and he was like, oh, I like that. And I'm like, oh, you want me to do it for you? He was like, sure. So that's how that came about. So we're gonna start that next month. And I may let him put a few stitches in on it if he wants, but yep, so that's his project. Tell the people real quick what else you're doing.
I'm in 8th grade, 13, turning 14 when she starts this project. I'm in band at school. I play the trumpet, and I'm in a play musical at my school for the first time. And yeah, I play tennis as well.
He plays tennis as well. So that is his project, and I will be starting it on the 17th. Right. So that's my guy. So he's both excited about that project. So okay, what else do I have? I got a lot, y'all. So I'm just gonna pull these out. I'm gonna flash this one really fast. This is a freebie by Teresa Kogut. It is called Create Every Day. I know you have seen many people on Flosstube have done this project. So I am probably gonna just do this on a gray or a white. I'm just gonna show that real quick. But these are the flosses that I have picked. I am going to use all of these variegated DMCs. So I've chosen a green, an orange, a purple, a blue, and a pink. So those are the ones I have decided on. I may do a yellow as well because there are 6 letters on this, but I'm going to use a color and cotton yellow, a variegated yellow. So that's the first project, and I am going to kind of go through these kind of quick because like I said, I was shocked when I realized I had 20. This next one is actually for my daughter, and it is Play Volleyball. I know y'all I've shown this many times, but I just have not been able to seem to get started on it, but I'm determined to do it this fall. I'm going to do this on a Silvery Moon Lugana. And then the main colors, her school colors are yellow and green. The main color is green, but I think I like the main color is yellow, but I think I'm going to go with mostly the green. So that'll be where the red is on this chart. Instead of doing red, I'm going to do green. And I'll put the yellow somewhere else. I haven't decided yet. So that is Play Volleyball by Sue Hillis Designs. This next one I'm starting today. And that is The Witch Next Door by Primrose Cottage. I have been playing around with this chart for 2 years. I bought it 2 years ago. And I have all of the threads ready to go. Now I did make a change though. I originally had planned to do the White House, which was this antique lace by Classic Colorworks. I have since changed my mind, and instead I'm going to do a purple house, and it will be out of Patchwork by Color and Cotton. And I will be doing this, and I even made time last night to put a border on my fabrics so it could go in the nerge easier. But this is Boneyard by Be Stitch Me. I think I'm going to do it on this half. So I'm pretty excited. I like that color a lot. Be Stitch Me, just her fabrics, the way she does the modeling appeals to me a lot. And then just her color choices. But this was like my third time choosing. But when I came across Boneyard, I said, well, that's perfect for a Halloween print. I am not a big fall stitcher. I don't even like fall that much, y'all. I don't. I'm a summer girl. I feel like in fall, I never know what to wear, etc., etc. But I am determined to get a few fall pieces in my space. So that is one. Plus my husband is a Halloween baby. So he loves everything Halloween and he's excited about that one. So that is The Witch Next Door by Primrose Cottage. I had to pause for a minute because I had to unzip all these bags because I didn't want y'all mad at me. So this next project has also been in the works for a while. I know I've had it kitted up for at least a year, but it is His Name is Jesus by Joyful Expressions. And this is actually a free chart that you can get from the joyfulexpressions.com website. And I'm going to do this one probably twice. I don't do projects more than once very often, but I have two actually in this bin that I plan to do more than once. And this one I want to do in the colorway that I'm going to show you for myself. And then I plan to do it again for my husband in purple and gold so he can display it in his office. So I have decided upon 32 count Lugana and it's a Sahara Dust by Zweigert, and I got it from Gentleman Gin. And then I've chosen these three DMC colors, 3849, 3848, and 3847. So that is what I'm going to do my version in. So that's one project, and these are in no particular order, you all. I'm just grabbing them and showing you all. Now this next one, this is another one I've had kitted up for a while, but I think I wasn't positive on some of these. That's why I hesitated to get them out and get them going. But a lot of these I tried to show the ones that I know for sure I'm going to do. This is a kit, and it is by Artiste by Zweigert. And it says it's designed by Cooler Design Studio. I know this is no longer available at Hobby Lobby, which is where I got this on clearance a couple of years ago. But this is a USA map, but it's kind of like patchwork. And I've already decided as well that some of these I'm gonna do differently. Like, let me see which one it was. Like this one right here, the state of, I believe that's Montana. Right here. That's kind of boring. So I'm going to switch that up. I haven't decided how I'm going to switch it up. I'm probably just going to pick something from another area and duplicate it there. But this is done on, I'm not sure what size fabric came with it, but I'm not using it. Yeah, I think it was a 14 count, but it's pretty stiff. So I have decided that I'm going to do it on this 28 count even weave that came out of my stash. Okay, I think this was one of my Goodwill finds for 99 cents. So I thought that was a good project to use that on. Here are the flosses. So I got to figure out how to corral these a little nicer. But these are all in a bag that I made from a previous teenage finish, I think. But I just incorporated that into this bag, and this is a scrap of home decor fabric that I had. So that's another one that I would like to start soon. I would even like to start that maybe next summer. My birthday is a week after Trent's, and I'm very tempted to make this my birthday start. This is Long Dog Sampler Pandemic. I've had it forever, and I need to start it. So I have chosen a 25 count Lugana. It's a very pale pink. And I'm going to use Cerise Noir buy Stitchy, I think it's Stitchy Stuff on Etsy. But I bought 3 50-yard skeins of this. So I hope that's enough. Okay. And that is what I plan to do pandemic on. You all, I'm getting bit by the bug to do bigger projects again. I never did small projects. That Precious Moments chart you just saw, that's probably the smallest I did when I was younger. When I began stitching, I always gravitated right to the big projects. I rarely did any ornaments. I rarely did any of that. I was a big project person. And I've gotten to enjoy more smaller projects the older I've gotten. But I'm feeling the pull back to these big projects. And the only thing is I like to finish things. And I used to be a monogamous stitcher. And since I am not a monogamous stitcher anymore, I don't want to end up with a whole bunch of whips. So that's why I'm trying to navigate what I start and when I start it. All right, here's another one, you all, that I was supposed to start last month, but I didn't make it. And it's a sampler. And it is Rosina Dissery. I started it once, but I didn't like the fabric. So I had planned to start it again. This is a 32 count Cafe au Lait Lugana. And I wasn't gonna do it on this fabric, but now I've changed my mind and I'm going back and I am gonna do it on this fabric. But let me show you the chart. This is by Works by ABC. And I just need to get it going again, especially now that I'm getting close to being done with this Juneteenth day. And this is a sampler by a black girl who was a student at an African free school in 1820. So I want to make sure I get this started, especially since this Juneteenth day is coming to an end, and I would like to have a cultural sampler or some type of cultural project going at all times. Here are my threads, mostly DMC. I did switch out a couple of them for some color and cotton, but for the most part, they are DMCs. Let me get them together for you real quick. So here are the colors. And I'm very pleased with them. I love how they look. So that's one I've got to get going. And see, and now the problem is now I'm into Christmas stuff. I'm ready to go to my Christmas project. So that one may have to wait until February as well. All right, speaking of Christmas, I've got quite a few kitted up. This is actually a purchase that I made a couple months ago and I did not show you, but Holiday Quaker by Lila Studio. And I bought this on Etsy, so I do have the PDF. But I have decided on this 32 count Lugana. It's called Serenity by Grace Notes Fabrics. And I think I'm gonna go with this. And here are my threads that I have already pulled. So, if it called for an overdyed, I substituted it with color and cotton, and then the rest are just DMC. So I would love for that to be maybe a Christmas start, Christmas Day start, possibly, but we will see. But I would like to start that one as well. So like I said, yeah, I'm gonna put these back in the bag, otherwise it's gonna be a hot mess in here. All right, another Christmas. Now these, I don't know if I've shown these before, but there's actually 2 of them, 2 or 3 of them in here. And I've just kept them all in here because I wasn't sure when I was going to start them, how I was going to start them, but they're kitted and ready to go. So I need to just start them. These 2, I've actually got all of the threads in the same bag, and they're going to be both on the same fabric. But these are Pansy Patch Quilts, Sugar Cookie House, and Tea House. And I want to do these 2 first before I get the rest of them. But here, I'm doing this on Hot Cocoa by Bestitch Me. And then here are the threads that I have pulled for them. A lot of the threads are similar. So here's some of the threads, and if it's not here, it's in another project, but I do have it. So Sugar Cookie House and Tea House, and I think I'm gonna do Sugar Cookie House first. And also in here, I have another Primrose. This is Christmas Quaker. And I'm doing this on this green scrap of fabric that I got from Gentleman Jim. It is a green, I think it's Jubilee. Yep, it's a 28 count Jubilee by Swagger. And Red Delicious, I think is what I'm gonna go with on that. I also have pulled this CoryCreates, but I think I may do this on a different color, not that green. So this one might get done twice, y'all. We'll see. More traditional looking Christmas. I love pink for Christmas, but I do like a sprinkling of traditional Christmas. So that's my sprinkling of traditional Christmas. I got more Christmas, y'all. Christmas is my favorite thing to stitch. I have 2 projects in here as well. I have not done any of the tiny towns. I own Honey of a Tiny Town, Christmas Tiny Town, Nativity Tiny Town, Halloween Tiny Town, and I think I have Thankful Tiny Town. Either Thankful or Autumn, I'm not sure which, but I have a fall one. Come on. And these seem like such a simple stitch, and I haven't done any of them. So I'm gonna start off with Nativity Tiny Town. And then I'm gonna move into the frills, which are Shepherd Tiny Town and a Shepherd Frill and Nativity Frill. It's just ridiculous at this point, y'all. Start the doggone thing, girl. 32 count Lugana. No particular name, color and cotton. I'm gonna put them all on that. And then here are my threads for the Nativity Tiny Town. Just a little pouch I made for that. And then I also have in this bag Christmas Tiny Town. And here are the threads for that. So I'm ready to go. I just gotta get going. So definitely starting one of the tiny towns this fall Christmas season. Ooh, another Christmas. What's in here? This is a recent Kitter Upper. Dancer by Barbara Anna. I got a charcoal Lugana, charcoal splash, 32 count Lugana from Gentleman Jim. And then I took the time to pull the colors. I'm trying to get around to making one of these little pouches for all my project bags. They don't have to match perfectly, but this one's Christmas themed. And this was just a scrap I had left over and I wanted to use it, so I made a little pouch. But that one is ready to go. Now I don't know if I'm gonna start that one because like I told you, I like to stay around 30 whips. And I think I'm around 26 right now. So we'll see if all of these get started. Let me see if I got any more Christmas in here. I do. I have a couple more Christmas. This one is a new kit up to my Christmas list by Silver Creek Samplers. I'm gonna do this on a 28 count Atomic Ranch Frise. I think that's what it's called, how you say it. And then here are the threads, all ready to go. Let's see, do I have any more Christmas? I do. I got this at Needlework Gallery last year. And I took all my willpower to walk past the display this year, so I wouldn't get any more until I do these. But I'm not going to do them on the perforated paper. These are Mill Hill kits. Of course, they come with everything you need, but I'm going to do mine on fabric. So the fabric I have chosen, and actually I haven't made a final decision, but I have 2 choices in here, and it's going to be one of the 2. Country Mocha by Zweigert, 32 count, or 32 count Cafe au Lait by Live and Die LA. So I'm leaning towards the Country Mocha, but this is a possibility as well. So that's the Mill Hill kit. One more Christmas, I think. Here is Mrs. Claus's Cookies by Stitching with the Housewives. I'm going to do this on a mid splash Lugana, and here are the colors. Oops, sun's messing with me, y'all. There we go. So I've got everything pulled for that I need. All right, let's see what else we got in here. Oh, Christmas. And this one's been kitted up for a while too, you all. Here are the threads for the Nativity Scene by Stitchy Princess on Etsy. So here are the flosses. And here is the fabric I'm doing. This is just a sale fabric, 32 count Murano by Zweigert that I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby. It's a pretty blue. I need to start that one too. I got like nativities coming out my ears, but that was by design. That might be it for the Christmas. So let's see what's in here, because I think this might be fall. It is Turkey Day. I'm going to start this in November. I have decided on this Malingong by Under the Sea Fabrics. It was one of my fabrics of the month. I have an overdye that goes with it. And then here are the rest of my threads, the DMCs. Now it only calls for 2 overdyes, but I just looked at the pattern since I said this was a November start, and it says I'm probably going to need at least 2 skeins of each. So I'm going to think about that and decide later if I'm going to go back and get another skein, because color and cotton skeins have 8 yards and most other brands only have 5. So I'm wondering, do I really need the second one? So I think I might wait. Let's see. What is this? Oh yeah, I've been waiting a long time to start this one, and I finally got some fabric that I know is going to work. Rainbow Row by Barb and Cheryl. I've had this pattern since, I want to say I probably bought this before I got married. I've been married almost 22 years. But I'm ready to start it. Now I pulled, this is a color and cotton fabric, Springtide. It's a mottled blue-green with a little bit of yellow running through it. I thought that would make a good sky around the project. I got a fat half of this because it's such a big piece. So I got a 32 count, so it'll be like 16 count. And I did not pull all of the threads. I pulled enough threads for the first page. Let's see what's in there. Quite a bit. So I got enough pulled just for the first page. And I would really love to figure out how to do markup XP and put this pattern in that. I think that would help me, because this is a lot of blocks of color on those buildings. So I need to find a way to get up to speed on markup XP so I can upload it. Or I might even try to put it in my pattern keeper. There's supposed to be a way to do paper charts in Pattern Keeper now. This is one, I'm not sure when I'm going to start it, probably in the spring, but I don't know if you all remember the Lipton the Lipton tea that I did. Well, this is actually a Smucker's strawberry jam. I can't show the thing up close because I do not have a cover page for this. Somebody sent me these charts many years ago. And so if I find a picture of it online, I'll post it here. But here are the threads and the fabric that I have for this. And that will probably be a spring start. Right, I'm in the home stretch. I only have a few more to show. This first one is a kit. I'm going to use the fabric that I'm swapping out with the USA. That's a big enough piece that I can probably do this one on it as well. But this is University of Missouri. That is my alma mater. And this is Jesse Hall. If you're familiar with Mizzou, those are the infamous columns up front. I believe they are ruins left over from the previous school's buildings, and that is all that remains after they burned down. But that's in front of Jesse Hall. And if you went to Mizzou and you graduated from there, I promise you, you probably have a picture of yourself in front of those columns. But I bought this kit in '97. So I remember I had gone back to visit campus after I graduated, and I bought this at the bookstore. It even still has the university bookstore sticker on it. But I'm gonna do this. Okay, it's not hard for sure. And it's not that big. It says approximate design size is 5 by 10.5. So I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna do that soon. It's got the threads and everything with it. So this next one, this one has been kitted up for 20 years, you all. I think next year is the year I'm gonna get it started. I know this is out of print. This is the Needle Workshop by Bright Needle. I also have the Dollhouse, and I have one other chart by them. But I have chosen, and this is the original fabric that I chose, so I'm going to stick with it. It looks like, though, it's a linen. It's an ivory linen. It doesn't even have a name on it. And I know I got this at the Crossstitch store that I used to work at. I used to work at a Crossstitch store called Stitches, Etc. in the early 2000s, before I got married. And that's Miss Gail's handwriting. So she cut my fabric. And this is just ivory, but it is not an even weave. And honestly, I don't know what count this is. It's probably either a 28. 28 was my wheelhouse back then, so I'm gonna take a guess and say it's a 28. But these are anchor threads, and I have them all. So I need to get started on that. And in the same bag, I have the Dollhouse. So I need to get going on that so I can get to the Dollhouse. And I just got that in one of my Kellogg's bags that I made. This bag, I don't make this one very much. It's a little too small for the stuff that I have. All right, what's next? Oh yes, this is the other one that I told you all I do a duplicate of. I'm going to insert a picture of the first time I did this chart. But this is the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated crest. I did this for myself back in 96, 97, actually 96 because I have a date on it. But I pledged in 1995 and I did this in 1996. Well, I have always wanted to do it for some of my other sorors. So I'm going to redo this chart for my line sister, Jenny. So here, it was a kit like that University Missouri kit. But this is the packaging it came in. I had some of the threads left over from the first time, and I just put them in this little bag. And then I took them to the store with me to match them to the DMC. So I have pulled the matching DMC. I've just pulled them from random locations. Some of them are skein, some of them are bobbinated, some of them aren't, some are the floss away bag. So I have just grabbed those, and I've got all these threads together so I can get started on her version. And I'm keeping it in this little AK 1908 pouch. But I've always wanted to do one for her, and I'm gonna get that going this year. And I have my working copy of the chart ready to go. So I'm excited about actually redoing that chart. I think when I did it originally, it was on Ada. So I'm doing this on a Lugana. I know I shared that I purchased this chart recently, but I don't think I shared my final choices. Maggie May. And you all can tell I have a very good eclectic taste. I stitch what catches my eye. And for some reason, this little bunny has caught my eye. And I know a lot of people have done it. So she's on the docket for next year. I have done a color and cotton conversion for her. Her dress is going to be pink and her sweater is going to be green. So these are the threads that I have chosen, okay? Spool is going to be her fur, and then everything else. So I'm ready to roll on Miss Maggie May. The fabric I have chosen is a color and cotton, and I don't think it has a name. Oh, almond butter. It does have a name, but that's what I'm going to do her on. 32 count. I know a lot of people have done her on 40. I can't do it. We'll see how big she ends up being on 32. So that is Maggie May. I did, sorry for the zipper, I forgot to open this one. I did show this in my last video, I think, but I did not show the threads. So this is HL Moth. And you all, I put a lot of my charts in a plastic sleeve just to keep them nice and flat. By Kathy Barrick. This will be my first Kathy Barrick. And I'm doing this on a color and cotton 32 count in this rich brown. And here are the DMC flosses. So I'm super excited. I think this, sorry, this has a name, and I'm going to show it to you all. I think this color has a name. I just don't remember. One of a kind. That's it. One of a kind is the color name. So this will get started when I am finished with A Study in Pink by the Artsy Housewife. So that will get picked up again. That will get picked up again soon. And then when I finish with it, HL Moth is next. And we saw a very big moth outside of our, on the way to church this morning, right outside the door. I think they said it was a black widow moth or something like that. I looked it up on Google Lens. This might be the last one, you all. I think it is. Mouse and Strawberry Jam by Tiny Modernist. I'm gonna do it on this 32 count ivory Lugana. I used this on the other mouse project I did by her. And then I have just pulled threads that I have. If it's just a tiny bit, I'll pull the DMC. If I have the weeks or any other threads, I'll use them. But then I pulled these two greens for the chart. I tend to mostly purchase color and cotton threads now. I may do Classic Colorworks every now and then, but those are the only two brands over dyes I really buy nowadays. So let me consult my notes. I think I only have one more thing to share with you, and that is my investment. I did good, y'all. I didn't go to the store. I held my mule. I didn't do anything I wasn't supposed to do this month. But I did get my fabric of the month from Stitch Me, and that is September Morning. It is a very pretty purple. I would even call it maybe a periwinkle. It looks bluer on camera, but I'm pretty sure it'll show up okay once you guys see the final video. But it is a very pretty purple. And that is my video. Thank you all so much for joining me. I tried to get through that as quickly as possible. Thank you to you all who continue to support my Etsy shop. I have been busy getting it stocked up, so if you have a minute, I would love for you to go over there and check out what I have. I do have some fall bags, and those will be pretty consistent until the end of October. And I do have some Christmas bags up. And I do have NFL bags up. So if your team is out there, I'm having a hard time getting a couple of different teams, but I do have some new teams that I have not carried in the past. And I also have a few MLB. So if your team is in the playoffs, I know I have the Yankees, I have the Cubs, and I have the Royals, and I have the Guardians. So, Boston. I have Boston too. I know some of y'all are Boston fans out there. So, and the Dodgers. I think that one's currently in my shop. So I have about 5 or 6 MLB teams, plus of course the St. Louis Cardinals. So that is my video for you all today. I appreciate you joining me. Layla P Creations is my Etsy shop if you want to go over there. Next video will not be until November. I already know I got a bunch of things going on, and I'll be able to be back with you sometime in November. And in the meantime, I hope you all are getting some good stitching time in. I hope it's not too cold where you are, but I know many of you love fall, so I hope you get in the fall weather that you want. These 70s and 80s can stick around a little longer for me. But I hope everything is going well. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Hopefully I didn't forget anything, but charge it to my head, not my heart if I did. Have a great rest of your month of October, and I will see you soon. And in the meantime, you all be blessed.